and that is don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21 or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the US.
Quick question. How old do you have to be able to buy a gun in America?
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our
Bear in mind, I've never been to the US, but I want to go to the US so bad. I love the culture, I love the people. I can't wait to visit the US. So yeah, let's go.
first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable, okay? So make sure you give them a little distance when you are there.
Don't touch. I feel like it's the same in the UK. Everyone likes the space. Who's going around touching people anyway? Yeah, who likes that? I don't think there's a country in the world that loves people touching them. Is there? I don't think there is. Maybe the Irish. I grew up in Ireland.
There, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, we're like, Mark, how's it going? All this stuff. And my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were in throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, in big cities like New York and Chicago.
That's so crazy because like I like to explore places with public transport. I've been to an island in Scotland. I got my ferry and I started using the bus. I was using the buses to go to different areas on the island, and that was okay. Now when I travel, I rent a car. But in the UK, most places you go to, public transport, you're right. I live in Birmingham in the UK, and a bus, a train can get you anywhere, and it's not that bad. The US is massive, so yeah, it makes sense as to why public transport is not that good.
Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around for the public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay? So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge.
Wow.
I mean, would you think of driving from, I'm going to do, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S.
Chicago to Los Angeles to 2,077 miles. Miami to Vegas. Oh my God. It's so crazy. Yeah, because you guys have different time zones in the same country. That makes me go, what the? I think it's in New York that's close to Canada. And then Los Angeles is like 4 hours away. What the? What? That makes no sense to me. That's far.
I meet a lot of travelers that are like, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to LA. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane. Wow. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the Southeast, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or
I don't know why, but I fell in love with Atlanta just watching Atlanta. Because I watch a lot of just watching YouTube and that. I fall in love with Atlanta, literally. I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go to Detroit, Michigan. I want to go to Washington, D.C. I want to go to Boston, Massachusetts, Houston, Texas. Some cool places I want to go to. Yeah, I don't want to go to New York and all that. Everyone's saying New York is very touristy. But I want to go to, the ends. The places that's very American. Alabama. Sorry.
Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that, but also it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home just for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay, this isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no. No, no, no. We drive all the way through, okay?
Wow.
Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the US, we have sales tax. I know other countries, they have VAT, value added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. So when you see, oh, it's $1 or €1, oh, I only pay €1. In the US, it is not like that. We have sales tax. So a certain percentage is added onto that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere.
So if I go to Walmart or Target, for instance, and I see this mug, for instance, my lovely mug, and it says $2, if I get to the till, they're gonna add some extra amount on it. Why can't they just put the amount on the main label in the first place? Why do they have to jump all those to get a full price? Why? That makes no sense. Because obviously over here in the UK, you got VAT on everything, but it's added on it already. Like if I see this for £5, it's gonna be £5. There's no eating cost to it. Does that make sense? So you guys buy stuff, you pick up something, you don't even know what the full price is gonna be. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy.
Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes. And some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're gonna go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not gonna be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's gonna be $1.08. The other one, it's gonna be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the 5th don't, and that is don't forget to tip. Look, in the US, you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but if it's a sit-down restaurant...
Yeah, I feel like tipping is becoming a big thing over here as well, but it's just automatically added to the bill. It's usually like 12%. Yeah, it's about 12%, but you can ask them to take it off. I've never asked them to take it off. But yeah, it's becoming most places down here don't ask for, there's no tipping needed. But yeah, in the US, you guys are big into that, big tipping thing. That's crazy.
Where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the US, there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the US. It's because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitress.
What? Why can't you just pay the workers properly? Why can't you just add an amount to the food already? That makes no sense to me. So the waiters and the chefs and all that, they're relying on people tipping them. What? Wow.
And stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping, and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the US, so do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're gonna wanna tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink.
I want to say, do your job. It's your job. What do you mean? Each time I'm buying a drink, I have to tip. Don't get me wrong. If I have a good time, here you go. You have $10, $20. But I don't want to feel like I have to give it to you because you're doing your job. I'll give it to you because I want to, not because I feel like I have to. Does that make sense? I'm not a stingy person. I like giving, but I want to do it because I want to do it, not because I'm being forced to do it.
So following off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the US. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the US, the people actually are pretty nice and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked when like, wait, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal. Okay. Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out. All right, you actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the US, people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten, like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much, but cigarettes.
That's so true, you know. When I watch any American YouTubers, you don't really see a lot of people smoking in the US. Over here in the UK, it's like a normal thing. I don't smoke anyway, but people smoke. People getting smoke breaks at work and everything. It's like literally, it's normal. I feel like no, actually, it's 2025 now. Not a lot of people smoke that much anymore. But when you go to pubs and all that, bars for you guys Americans, it's normal for someone to everyone just smoking in the smoking area. So you guys lean more on the marijuana side than the cigarette side. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke, because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that, have smoke-free. It's smoke-free, so you got to go like 15 to 20 feet away from doing things, so that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't, and that is don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21 or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the US.
Quick question. How old do you have to be able to buy a gun in America? Because if you have to be under 21 to get a gun, I'll go crazy. Because you can't drink until you're 21, but you can buy a gun if you're like 18, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's 18 in America. Why 21 though? At least 18. Come on.
They will not sell them to you. And the thing is, don't forget your ID, because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor, or they want to buy alcohol, or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use meters, we don't use kilometers, we don't use liters. It is inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds.
It's very similar to in the UK we use miles. In Ireland, I live in Ireland for about 15 years. I've lived in the UK for 8 years now. In Ireland it's kilometers. In England it's miles. Do we use inches here? Don't think so. Do we? Can't remember now.
Things like that, and I'll put a conversion chart here to show you, but honestly you may say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that, because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters, it's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next don't is when you do come to the US, there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and 2 is politics, because no matter where you are, you will get people.
I feel like that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about you guys having a gun. I'm so intrigued about the gun culture in America. That's something I would love to sit down with someone, just chat about their life, owning a gun, how they got a gun. Just, that's so crazy to me. The fact that you guys casually carry guns around. What the fuck? So yeah, I would want to talk about that. So that's a don't. Okay, interesting.
On either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics. Talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next don't for you is don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same.
Actually, where is the Grand Canyon? I just seen the Grand Canyon there. It looks beautiful. Where is the Grand Canyon? That looks amazing.
topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other, and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too, not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume. And my buddy Jeff.
That's Edinburgh. I think that's by Edinburgh Castle. I think that's in Scotland. That's somewhere in Scotland anyway. I think so. I could be wrong now.
There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland, or going to San Francisco, or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't is don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans, or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these kind of things in the U.S., it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi. Because a lot of people say, everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you? Here, how are you is just...
Because over here in the UK, people say that as well. Like, I'm like, oh, are you getting on? You're right. Someone's going to reply, yeah, not too bad, thank you. So if someone says, how are you? I just blank them. What do I do? I feel like, yeah, we did in the UK. We chattable person. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'll be walking from the gym in the morning, like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll see some beside like, good morning. They'll be like, hi, good morning. Yeah, how's your day? Yeah, not too bad now. We chat. I can chat with anyone randomly at any time. Is it not? I feel like is the US not the same, or it just depends on what part of the US you're from. Okay, makes sense.
Hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France. Ça va? Ça va. How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem? Everything good? You answer back, tudo bem? Everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no. For some reason in the U.S., it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the U.S., and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things.
Oh, there's no 13th floor. Why is there no 13th floor? I'm trying to think. Why would there not be 13th floor? I'm very intrigued about that now. Why is there no 13th floor?
Which is really nice, so don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clams and, oh my God, the New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like, more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God.
I can't wait to try the barbecue. I'm not a big fan of meat. I don't eat that much meat as I used to before. But I want to go on a truck. You know, the truck tour, on the food truck tour of the US. Oh my God. I want to try the fish out there. Oh, the prawns. Oh, fuck. The lobster. Sorry, it's just, can't wait. Because you guys season your food properly over there.
The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants so you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, healthcare in the U.S. is insanely expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All right,
Wow.
so if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick or you do break an ankle or you do break an arm or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back because healthcare here in the U.S.
Wow.
is insanely expensive. Okay, so make sure you're prepared for that.
But the US, you guys pay massive tax. Why is the healthcare not free? Not free, no. You guys are paying so much money towards tax. Like in the UK now, okay, it's relatively free because I'm paying my tax towards it. I don't really use it, to be fair, but it should be free when I need it. That's crazy.
And I guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S.
Okay.
What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S. just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like
That's really funny. I'm gonna put the link to his channel. He's a really great guy. He does loads of 12 different countries, and he's American. He has to be American. But yeah, that's really nice to see. So when I do go to America, I have to learn to tip. I have to learn not to be too close to people. You have to be over 21 to get stuff. I want to do more research about the gun. The gun law it's something that blows my mind. I want to know more about that. But yeah, comment down your state down below. And you never know. I might be there very soon. Who knows? I'm in the UK right now. But yeah, comment down what you want to see. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.